out there? Check my audio real quick. Can't hear me? Microphone check 1, 2. Mic check 1, 2. Is that a little better? That's good. Thank you. Happy Halloween. There you have it. You guys said you're having trouble hearing me, right? How's that now? Just want to make sure I got all these bugs worked out before we get started. Right now, I do have my eyes set on Fox, but there's a local channel also that looks like they got everything set up quite well. Thank you, Keith. How's everybody doing? You guys ready for this? I'm trying to stay calm, you know. I got my cigar here ready to go for after they confirm the great news. No, can't smoke the whole thing in here, but I'm definitely going to spark it. Thank you, Glenn. Negative. Nice, Marlo. That COVID is no joke. I don't care what anybody says. Thank you, Red Boy. Kid, check the rhyme. What is up? 5.5. I think it's been more than 5.5, right? Almost 6, really. I almost just started calling it 6. Thank you, Duke. Wanda, good to see you. The local channel is WL. Hold on one second. WLFI-TV. It's a local Indiana station. So I'm going to either do HLN, WISH-TV, or that WFI-TV. Last time they did the conference, they didn't put it in a small screen. They like pulled it up full screen and then zoomed in. They had good audio too. Hey, there's CD. What's going on? Yep. And anybody that I send a link to, that's for you guys to join at any point. We're going to be here all day. We're going to cover as much as we can. Chucky. Yeah, and I kind of got sick last night. I put too much Louisiana hot sauce on my fried chicken. And it just kind of sat there. And this morning I was like, oh man, this is not good. I don't know if that ever happens to you when you pig out and it's kind of late. It's a little bit later than you usually eat dinner. So yeah, I was struggling with that this morning, but I got my coffee. Strong as hell too. I made it too strong. I drink my coffee black, and this shit tastes weird. It's so strong, it's like sour. Hey, what's up, Grizz? Jerry, good to see you. I want to give a big shout out to my man Bruiser. Can you guys see that? He waited long and hard for this day, and he was a big advocate for those girls. And you know, I didn't know anything about this YouTube stuff, and he kind of schooled me to the game and helped me to reel it in. You know, he would keep me grounded. He'd be like, "Man, like you're out there with all your speculation, all your theories, your wild accusations." And he also schooled me to kind of the behind the scenes stuff with YouTube, and that helped me. Without that, I don't think I would have made it through. Because when you're running these types of channels, like you become influential. It's weird. You have a responsibility. At the same time, you got to try not to get like a big head about it, I guess. I don't know. Yes, Allie, me too. I canceled 4 appointments. Hey, what's up, Lance? Good to see you. Fox 59. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with Fox 59, but I'm trying to get a hold of Frank. He's there. I think Frank's going to be at the press conference, so I want to kind of get an idea of who's in the front. Yeah, Chad, I'm playing it live. We're going to play it live. We're going to have guests join us. I think CD's going to pop in. We might get the captain and some guests over there. Invited Kristen. Yeah, there's a handful of people. Fig, he might stop in at some point. But yeah, we're just going to be hanging out, and then I'm going to open up the lines after the press conference, and I would like to get your opinions on what happened. I mean, like I said, I have my cigar, so you know what I'm expecting. Spark that bad boy up. What's up, Patty? Miss Thing. Hey, what's up, Jacqueline? Good to see you. Shoot you over another link for the Discord here in a little bit. Probably later in the day. Bottle of champagne. Nothing like a mimosa. I love mimosas. I don't know if you've ever had a peach orange mimosa. Pretty yummy. Jane, my nerves, I got them all calmed down. I did cry. See, my problem is I'm not a crier. I don't cry. Like I'm not one of those guys that cries. But I am one of those people that kind of daydreams. I get lost in like a thought. I'll just kind of start staring up at the sky like and then sometimes when that happens and I start thinking about my own kids and everything and trying to put myself in that position, it's just like boom, you just start crying. Not bawling, but it's just like, okay, what are you doing? Control your emotions, man. Joe McBride, hot sauce, self-inflicted. I can't help it. I would rather die than give up hot sauce, especially like cayenne pepper hot sauce, that Louisiana style, that Tabasco. Like, I mean, I put that shit on everything. And then I eat habaneros and stuff. Like, I just plucked a habanero off because some of them are finally starting to turn orange. So, I mean, I plucked one off the other day and just started eating it. Oh, that was the worst idea ever. Don't do that. Sriracha's pretty good. I just don't like, and I do like sriracha on my Chinese food, but I try to stay away from that sweetness. How some people put a little bit of sugar in their spaghetti? Hell no. I need more pepper. Oh, super chat. Sorry, BN. Good to see you. Today is the day and time for my favorite Halloween joke. Why couldn't the ghost have babies? He had Halloween. Nice. I'll allow that. Yeah, rest in peace, Bruiser. This case was very important to him, and he had a really tough exterior. But if you really get to know this guy, like honestly, I've never met a more caring person. It's a really strange phenomenon. Extremely tough exterior. Very outspoken person, very opinionated. But man, did he care about people, like on a whole nother level, on a level of compassion that I mean, I just can't even grasp it. And I think a lot of people didn't know that about him. Reel it in. We got to control the emotions today. I promised myself I wouldn't cry. Nice, Vanessa. You got to take a vacation. Murder Sheet front row. Yeah, I think they'll probably. I don't know if they're going to be doing anything live, but I guarantee they're getting some good audio. Yeah, we're going to talk about Murder Sheet tomorrow. So if you guys are going to want to hang out for that live stream too, I'm going to put my own head on the chopping block. We all got to face the firing squad. But not only that, now it's part of your resume. What'd you get right? What'd you get wrong? And we'll be calling out names, including my own. And we'll celebrate and we'll do better. Hey, Purdue. Good to see you. Shay Watson, Joseph, Nate. What's up, Nate? Sasha, you're on U.S. time today. Kimmy says, I like Bruiser. He didn't put up with bullshit. It was nice about it. Big up to Wales, UK. Hey, Fig, good to see you. Good morning. Yes, there's my man. Can't wait to spark that bad boy. Hot, black, and 2 at a time. You're wild, goat. You're wild, boy. And I'll drink to that. What's up, Phil? Welcome, sir. Looks like we're at the 9:30 p.m. mark. Just shy of the 9:30, so we'll get this press conference. They should be getting underway right at 10, so I'm not sure. I'm still kind of scrolling through which one I want to select, so if you guys have any recommendations right now, I think I'm going to hang out on Fox 59. See what they got going on. It's a good question, Lakeside. I wonder. Looks like they're getting ready here. WLFI.com, news from where you live. I think this is local to Indiana. They're getting ready to go. Yeah, it's still pretty early for you, huh, Fig? Yep, 6:27 here now for me. That's awesome, Vanessa. Yeah, Purdue is a great person. Big fat doobie ready. I got the bong right here. I just cleaned it, and I got some local stuff from the dispensary. It's kind of popcorny, but it was all the good sativa they had at the time, and they gave it to me for free anyway. So I was like, all right. I used up one of my deals that I had. Amanda says, I want to know what led to his arrest. I think he let his guard down. I don't know. Did you guys see what the Inquisitor put out there this morning? Where he had like an alias, and he had a lady's picture, and it was on Pinterest, and it had something. It was the Pinterest was using his email address, and it had the only image it had was like something. It was labeled Abby. And then there was a little note on the side or on the bottom that said, you want to know, like, you guys want to know what she said? Or it was really strange. I recommend, while you still have time, to go check out the Inquisitor's video. It's very strange, and I can't wait to look into all that stuff. You know, people like this, it's hard for them to keep quiet. He's all day at work, he's just living this lie. So he's got to figure out a way to um, let some of that out, before he just freaks out, commits suicide, or does something, loses control, basically. But I am curious if anybody, maybe a friend or a family member, was lying for him or hiding this little secret. So I'm curious about that kind of stuff. Nice boy 1985. The presser hasn't started. It starts in about 30 minutes, and we're going to cover it live. Looks like ABC News is covering it live on their website. I just want to pick the right one because once it's on there, I don't want to be bouncing back and forth. It looks like these guys are already live. Maybe we can stream in on here. It looks like ABC's up and running. They'll be the first ones here.
Yo, what's up, Sleuth?
How you doing, man?
Good. I'm driving to the office, and then I'll hop on my camera and do all that, but I just wanted to check in real quick.
Yeah, it looks like they're getting underway here. So I'm gonna put this on the screen without the audio. That way people can just kind of take a look at it while we're hanging out here.
Okay, cool deal.
How's your morning going?
Good. Showered, ready to go. So I'll be at the office checking this out before I got to start my work day. But I'm excited. Hard to sleep last night.
Yeah, isn't that strange? It's so strange, right?
Yeah. So yeah, Inquisitor's video is pretty interesting. So I'm
you got a chance to take a look at that?
Yeah, I'm in a Discord with him. Probably have been for 6 months, and with Alex Voorhees is in it, and there's Turbo. There's a few other people who do a lot of research in there, and yeah, they found some cool stuff. They're trying to get it validated before they put out certain things, but I think some more information will come out that this guy, he did have a online presence as well. Maybe not the same as Kagan Klein, but it seems like he was doing some shady stuff. That's all.
Yeah, it seemed like he was smart enough to know not to have a Facebook. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. There's no social media on this guy, but he did. He it seems like he used his daughter's email for a few things. I'll just say that.
Oh, that's not good.
No.
It's awful.
Yeah, how are you doing this morning?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm doing great. I had a little issue with my stomach, but I think I got that under control. I was like, please, not today, because I'm devoting all day to the Delphi case. Yeah, like if I'm gonna give all my time, today's the day to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I got my cigar.
Nice.
I don't know if you dabble.
I do. I don't have anything right now. I'll have to get something after the press conference. And yeah, me and you talked about this a while ago. We're gonna celebrate. That's why a few other people asked me to be guests. I'm like, well, me and Sleuth talked about this a long time ago.
Today's that day, man.
The day.
And we got all day. I know everybody's going live. Hopefully I can jump on some other channels too. And it's just going to be, we'll celebrate. And then we can start talking about this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I know there's a few Debbie Downers out there that say, don't celebrate yet. He hasn't been convicted. But I think there's an arrest that's been made. That's never happened before. You can't say that, oh, there's been other POIs. And no, this isn't a POI. This man has been arrested. So
Yeah,
that's
and I'm
big.
basing my confidence off of the way Patty is reacting.
Exactly.
So I'm following her lead.
100%. Same here. And law enforcement can tell the family things. I'm just speaking from my experience. They'll be like, yeah, we got the guy. Like, it's him. They'll say little things like that, and you're like, okay. Which in the court of law, you have to present things different, and there's arguments, but there's sometimes you get some information where they're like, yeah, this is him. So she's feeling confident. I'm feeling confident.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds like they may have found something. CD seems to think it was maybe under the fire pit. That's like a kind of a place where these types of criminals hide stuff.
Yeah, it seems that there's a bed of roses too that was disturbed in an area. So,
And
and the
think about
wife
it.
was
If
out there.
think about it, if you're going to be a killer and you have your trophy and you just can't part with it, what better place to put it than like out in the yard where it's like close by. You find comfort in
Right.
that.
So total speculation on my part, but I was wondering if maybe the wife saw him digging stuff up and then would like re-dig it. Maybe every few months she's like, why is he always going out there to the spot? And something became suspicious.
Oh yeah, how creepy, huh? Just reliving it over and over and over.
Yeah, because I read that's what the BTK guy did. He buried stuff and then would unearth it every so often.
Oh yeah, the driver's licenses and stuff like that, huh?
Right. And their clothing. So
So
I hope they
weird.
found something.
It's just
Such a
weird to think
creepy
he's
thing.
got and if he does have something like that, it probably had DNA just all over it.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. They need something concrete for sure. And I don't think they would have made an arrest unless they found something concrete.
Do you think this has anything to do with the activity recently, or it's just like a one-off thing?
My gut is saying it. Yeah, it probably does because it is a coincidence, the timing of things with this search. But I have no evidence of that. It's a total guess on my part.
Yeah, and I found it
But it would be
interesting
strange not to. Yeah.
what the Inquisitor said about him working for his father or something and having a work truck or.
Yeah. So his dad was friends with a few people. So there kind of might be a Tony Klein relationship thing. We still got to connect all the dots, but.
What's up, CD?
Good morning. What's going on?
Just hanging out.
Off, huh? There you go.
How you doing?
Doing well. Got the kids off to school. Got them their McDonald's for Halloween. It's like an annual thing, McDonald's breakfast. You know how it goes, man. I'm shot.
Mm-hmm.
Bouncing back from COVID. All's good. Same old, man.
Yeah, you look good.
Yeah,
you
feel
look great,
better.
man.
Feel better. That the drinking the other night wasn't the best idea, but off the boat Irish, and the mom promised me it was going to help. It did not help. I was sucking. I was sucking wind yesterday. Yeah. She whipped out this
Irish
bottle
is cure for everything.
When it says Icelandic beverage and it tastes like gasoline, that is not a beverage. I don't even know what it was. She's like, "Oh, you taste the black licorice." I go, "I do not taste anything but gas." But whatever, man, it was good. I stumbled home. Oh, the funniest part is my son knocked his tooth out while we were there, right? One of his bottom teeth. He's 7, so he's dropping teeth like crazy. So I was holding it for an hour between my fingers. All of a sudden, I go, "Man, I lost a tooth. Tooth was missing. Found it on the ground." All good.
Well, you are.
How's everybody feeling? Yeah, I had to find that. My wife would have been pissed if I did not find it. So, brought the tooth home. How's everybody feeling about today?
I'm excited, man. Personally,
this is a big day for the girls, their families, and law enforcement. I just don't want to get my hopes up too much.
I'm trying to be patient, but I just want to be. I'm happy for Indiana.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a big day. Yeah, it's a big day.
They got their hands full out there, man.
Yes, they do. Fig, what's going on, man? How you been?
Just got cut off by a Prius, but other than that, I'm good.
Why are you letting the Prius cut you off, man? What are you driving?
I have a nice.
He's on his bike.
Yeah.
What do you got? You got a truck?
I got a Yukon. Yeah.
I got a Suburban. Yeah, so that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You got the Prius
Yeah.
cutting you off.
Yeah, I was about to
Push
eat
him
it,
right in
eat
the
it like
shoulder.
Godzilla.
Yeah, eat the
Little
shoulder,
guy.
little man.
But
Let's
yeah,
go over them.
I'll be on screen here in about 10 minutes after I devour this Prius.
No, that's no problem. It's what you're Western. You're West Coast. It's 6:30 in the morning
Yeah.
there. It's early.
Yes, sir. I know. So I'm excited and had to get this stuff done before I get some more stuff done. Yeah, I did a live yesterday, and that's I don't know how you guys do it by yourself. I was like, this is weird. I didn't like it.
Yeah, but once
You
once you got in the groove, you were flowing though. Once you got in the groove, I was listening. I was watching. Football was on, I think. Birdman said, "Well, here we go. CD is going to hijack the show like always." Thank you, Birdman. Happy to be here. You know, just here to take over Sleuth's show. All right, nice guy.
Well, me and
don't
CD
negotiate
almost
with
hooked up.
terrorists.
I was in New York not too long
I
ago.
tried to get you.
Yeah.
I tried to get you. We had lunch. You were bouncing out fast though.
Yeah.
Next
Yankees
time you're here,
games,
we'll do it.
U.S. Open. I was all over the place.
You're
Next
all
time,
over the
brother.
place. Yeah, listen. When you come into New York, you got to bounce around. You got to take it all in. I get it.
Yeah. So they have the guy. Or I'm feeling like this is the guy, and it's all a gut feeling. But I'm feeling good.
I hope so.
Yeah, I have a really great feeling. I mean,
I hope so.
Yeah.
I just feel it could end up being open-ended, and I just hope it's not. You know, I hope it's not.
what are
I'm
some of
hoping
your
this
fears?
is the guy.
What are you
No,
thinking? What do you mean?
I don't want to say politics is playing into this. That's not what I want to say. But I just talked to a couple local people, and you have the sheriff's race coming up, and you had Tony Liggett there, and how he was talking about I'm doing my best, like kind of like he's a lone detective there. But they have a whole task force. It's not like the guy's by himself. Even if he's the only Carroll County guy, ISP's with them, whatnot. So I just hope it's not political.
And I didn't see the FBI on that
They weren't
on that
but
list.
but the U.S. Marshals were.
Yeah, why not the FBI as well? They've been such a big part of this case. I wonder if they're saying, "Hey, we did this without you guys," or there's some kind of animosity there. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that animosity is with Ron Logan still. Which doesn't make sense. But.
My understanding, FBI they were still used as a resource, but they didn't have any dedicated agents. That's just my understanding. Could be wrong. But they were still used as a resource.
But listen,
like,
all the tips are filed there.
Yeah.
All the tips are filed there. So I mean,
but we'll see. So this guy was I heard that he was interviewed. I said on my live that he was interviewed in 2017. And then I saw some little news clip, a screenshot that said he was interviewed and cleared. Now, I was half asleep. I'm getting ready for work, which I'm pulling up to the office now. But did you guys see that where it said he was interviewed and cleared?
Yes, I was. I saw that, and I also I've heard for the longest time that the bridge guy, the guy on the bridge, and people would argue with me, and I would say no, he wasn't cleared, he wasn't questioned, he wasn't found. What happened was that they confused, the original sketch with some of the searches, and they're like, no, I know that happened, but I'm telling you, they've already interviewed the bridge guy. So I'm wondering if they did go and interview this guy, and they just kind of had him on their radar.
It's possible. I think that how that Wikipedia thing, they were changing stuff with just putting Richard and stuff. I got to look back, but I think about 8 months ago, when you would Google Jimmy Duvall, a picture of this guy would come up within the mixed Google pictures. Because there's a very distant resemblance, but they had the same, like, what the hell do you call it? Like a Fu Manchu, whatever that long, he just had that long thing down here. So, which is kind of weird.
I think Duvall looks a lot like him.
Well, Duvall has a skinnier face. This guy
kind of looks like Mike. It looks like Micah. It looks like the Thomas Jerome Bruce guy. Like he has that same look.
Yeah.
This one right here,
which is weird to me.
Like that Micah guy. Like he looks just like him.
My thing is, remember, even Sleuth, it's in those that whole 4chan thread. Just the name Richard. Anybody not from Delphi wouldn't know who the hell Richard is near the bridge. But just a lot of weird things were there. So why was it missed? It's just, I don't know.
I think a lot of it was missed because of the description. People take all that stuff as fact. They forget this is an unknown person, so they're trying to do their best to kind of hold our hand while they give us the information. Because a lot of people, not all our brains work the same. Some people are critical. Some people will take and process information different.
Visual people.
Yeah. So when they're like, this guy's 200 pounds, he's 5'10", he's anywhere between 18 and 40, and this guy's like, 5'5", 160. They're like, it's not him. See, so we can't do that.
He's like I guess he's 5'7" on his tallest day. You could see it pretty good when he's against the the pool table.
Mm-hmm.
You can see.
And
I
said
it
from the beginning. I was like, this guy reminds me of my build, because that's me, like 5'6", and I say I'm 5'7". Typical guy stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember watching him, like, stocky upper, and then the chicken legs. I was like, I know what I'm seeing here.
All right, I'll be right back, guys, from my computer with camera on.
No problem. That's good thing. So do you have the feed ready to go?
Yep.
Good.
Well, I got a bunch of different ones. Do you have do you see any decent ones? Fox 59 and
Fox 59 is who I would definitely try going with them. Once you got Fox there, they shouldn't have a hiccup. A smaller channel might have a hiccup, but they should.
Only ABC is up and running. Where they're just kind of running
just got the
residual
camera muted. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So who do we know is there? Frank's there, right?
Murder Sheet's there.
I heard Rick Snay is there. Who else? Did Deb go? Wasn't Deb supposed to go?
Deb's there. She's live. I think Sunny's channel's live on
That's
scene.
Cool. That's cool. Good. Listen, anybody that's in the area, it's definitely worth going. And we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm hoping. Believe me, I'm hoping it's this is the lone guy. I just don't like the term involvement.
You know what I think that's all about? I think that's just about trying to make this a special day for Halloween and trying to just keep people to calm down, and then we'll release all the information on Monday. That's what I think that language was about. But I hope anyway.
Doug Carter has a pretty good relationship with Barbara McDonald, and just her little report on it the other night was kind of like, he can't tell us a lot, but kind of like it's gonna, kind of like leaving it as like this can end up open-ended, which I hope it's not. For the family's sake, I hope it's not.
That'd be awful.
Yeah.
See here, I got a super chat. Let's see if I can find that.
The who, what, why would be great to get.
Super sticker. Thank you, WO.
Murder weapon would be great to hear. Cause of death, so many questions that just,
Yeah, why'd he do it? Tell us why you did that. I'm thinking maybe some type of mental breakdown, right? According to what Robert Ives was saying.
There's rumor that he was, he went, he checked in somewhere for 30 days afterwards, but that's just rumor as of now.
Mm-hmm.
Take nothing as fact until they're going to give it out.
Yeah, I always thought the things that Robert Ives was saying, he thought that this guy might have a mental issue just based off of the signatures.
What's could be possible, even addiction, whatnot. There's so many reasons that you'll there's so many reasons somebody snaps. But it's also some way the murders will be sexual in nature, even if it's not
some type of gratification, huh?
Yeah. That's just especially that unclothed, what item was taken. It's just leaning that way.
I wonder if he confessed. I wonder if he was just like, I did it.
As of last night, I think it was Fox 59 put out that he is not cooperating and lawyered up.
I heard his wife. I heard his wife was still supporting him 100% and everything. So I wonder if she knew.
Yeah, I don't know.
With
something like this, you hope to give the benefit of the doubt, but it's just hard. even though it was 4 words spoken, if my wife was, caught in something and there was 4 words spoken and I heard it against her voice, you would know. That's where it's like you get to that intimate where you're gonna know it's your husband and wife. You might not know it's a guy you ran into somewhere, but you're gonna know.
And even the video, like now that we see him and we see the build, we're like, oh, okay, now we understand what's going on with that video. And it really does look like him, the broad.
Well, you know what even looks like.
Legs.
You know what really made me say shit was he wasn't even facing the camera. It was when he was lighting the fireworks facing away, and the way he bent down and his knee, you could tell his right knee has that hiccup to it, which was interesting,
Well, it looks like the WFLA news channel looks like they're live.
Good. They're good.
Check them out.
WFLA is good.
All right. Yeah, it looks like they're the ones getting a jump start on it, so we might just jump on here.
But all good. So if there's any sound, we'll just mute and just hang until they go live. That's fine. Who's Otto? You know who Otto is?
Automobile?
Oh, is that's a screen name? I don't know who it is.
Otto? Why?
Can you stop it? My dog's shaking the whole table, just being a nut. Go lay down. Oh, she's got so much energy.
Hey, there he is.
There he is.
What's up? There we go.
So I think he staged that plant he's got there. He's growing something next to him. He's laughing. We can't hear you. You're muted.
Hey, it's legal here.
Sooth, I can't hear you now either.
All right.
Oh, did you hear me okay?
Having a delay. I can hear you. I can hear you guys.
Okay, sounds good.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I'll go out.
I think it's my internet just taking a. I think it's just buffering here because I'm trying to add the streamer. So
okay.
There. It's taking a happy time here. Oh, I think we lost CD. Yeah, it looks like WFLA now is up and running. So I'm going to bring them on screen without any audio.
Wow. Some interesting stuff. I'll send it to you, Sleuth. Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm reading all the chat now. What's up, Jill? Olivia? Okay, everyone can hear. Lakeside Justice. Well, thanks, Jessica, for the live that I did yesterday. Hi, Moon Crystal.
Okay, can you guys hear me okay?
I got you now.
Okay.
Yep.
some reason,
ID.
Fig,
Teresa.
you sound scary. Can you guys drop off the camera
Yep.
just for a second?
Yeah.
I want to see if that helps. Okay. Fig, I think you dropped off. Oh, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there's
You
my
sound
buddy
a li-
Jennifer. This is Jennifer Coffindaffer. Ron Logan. She going to talk about him today? Please.
Is that this lady here?
Yeah, she's the retired FBI agent that feels it's Ron Logan still. She's been tweeting.
Wow.
She tweeted about it last month. Shot down.
Hey, I think some people need to watch Frozen and just let it go. That was my dad joke of the day.
I like it though. I actually like that.
Hold on, 'cause I'm gonna if I rush this through, we're getting some bad audio, I think, all around. Hold on.
It could be that some of the sites are in overload too.
Can you get?
I can hear you. Do you want us to drop off and come back on?
You guys hang
Maybe
tight.
that'll.
I'm out and bring it right back. Okay.
Vanessa liked my dad joke at least.
That was pretty funny, to be honest. I like it. It's true though. I mean, this is my problem with her being retired FBI and saying that is because the female FBI agent wrote the search warrant for Ron Logan's property. So that's just you're just leaving confusing things out there by even saying that. It was all over her Twitter.
There we go. Much better.
Yeah, you're clear now. There's no fuzz.
Okay, let me go ahead and pull this back up.
Yeah, and that's why I tried to do my live yesterday. As Sleuth pulls this up, it's frustrating being a family member, and when you're convinced that they have the right person, and then you have retired people, other people just saying, "Oh no, it's not him. They have the wrong person."
Yeah,
It's
that's my issue with it. You know, it's just you're leaving a family who have moved on from that guy, and now you're retired FBI and coming back with it. What's up, Radar? Hope you're well. Fig, they keep saying to try maybe ISP's website.
All right. Looks like this one's running the best. WLFI. So let's try that.
I could send you the Facebook live stream.
Yeah, can you send that to me?
Sure. Email or
that'll yeah, send it email.
Okay.
That one will probably run pretty good.
Thanks, Turbo. Turbo sent it to me. All right, email sent.
Thank you.
Some of the reversal shots right now. How many?
turn on my TV in my office on mute just to see if there's another news channel too.
All right, I got this one up.
Okay.
So I'm assuming they're just going to start like right at 10, I'm assuming.
I'm sure. And this is the
Okay.
same church that was the 222-17 presser, right? Because it looks the same.
Yeah, I believe so. Okay, so this is what I have here, Fig. Let me make sure that's what you're showing as well.
The camera was just looking at Mike Patty. I have it muted. I'm just have it on.
On the Fox one? You're on that?
Oh, no. I was on, what was this one? The WFLA. Cameras on Mike Patty and Becky Patty.
Okay.
They're just sitting in the crowd.
Okay. Fox 59 has it live on Facebook.
And they're up and running?
Let's see.
The WFLA one is up. They're aimed at the stage, but nobody's there.
Okay.
Yeah, it hasn't started yet.
They're walking up now.
Yeah,
Doug
it
Carter's
hasn't
walking up.
started
Okay, let me drop you guys off the stream completely and then come back, okay, once I get this up.
Okay.
Oh, no, never mind. Stay here.
Okay.
Shit. Yeah, you guys drop off.
For being here, and thank the Delphi United Methodist Church for allowing us to use their facility.
Shit.
This morning, we're going to provide an update on the murders of Abigail Wood.
But the arrest of Richard M. Allen of Delphi on 2 counts of murder is sure a major step in leading to the conclusion of this. Our nation and even many countries around the world. I am proud to report to you that today, actually last Friday, was the day, and an arrest has been made. Thanks to literally hundreds of media outlets that have been steadfast in reporting and keeping the memories of Abby and Libby front and center. Many of you in the room have developed relationships with me personally, and I always have a personal perspective, and today's no different. But from a very personal perspective, you all have provided inspiration and support, even while oftentimes frustrated with us and me. You continue to encourage the efforts and you too believe that one day we would all be here participating and sharing this news. To the entire law enforcement community, which includes all local, state, and federal agencies, which are far too many to specifically mention today, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are going to continue a very methodical and committed approach to ensure that if any other person had any involvement in these murders in any way, that person or persons will be held accountable. Since the murders of Abby and Libby 2,086 days ago, the daily investigative team has worked tirelessly and is certainly worthy of mention today. Specifically, Sheriff Linsonby, the Sheriff of Carroll County, Detectives Tony Liggett, Detective retired Kevin Hammond, former Delphi chief and now the prosecutor's investigator Steve Mullins, State Police First Sergeant Jerry Holman, Detectives Jay Harper, Dave Vito, and Brian Harshman, along with members of the United States Marshal Service, specifically Agent Jeremy Clinton and Agent Bill Colfers. With them today is Dan McClain, the U.S. Marshal, appointed U.S. Marshal. Our state police analyst, our scientist from many different disciplines within our laboratory division, Mrs. Kathy Shank, for your incredible dedication to detail and to so many others that I know I've missed. I really believe that Abby and Libby would be proud of you for standing strong, even in the face of immense pressure and perpetual criticism. Some of these individuals have postponed retirement, passed on promotional opportunity, have dedicated personal time away from their families, given up nights, weekends, and holidays, all while in the pursuit of accountability for Abby and Libby. I know that today's announcement will not diminish your resolve, and I hope you have found just a bit of peace in this most complicated world. This is really important. While I know you are all expecting final details today concerning this arrest, today is not that day. Today's not that day. This investigation is far from complete, and we will not jeopardize its integrity by releasing or discussing documents or information before the appropriate time. Prosecutor Nick McClellan, of course, will share additional information about what we can and cannot say, and also explain to you why the probable cause affidavit is temporarily sealed by the court and not available. And by the way, he has been a tremendous asset to this team. I'm yet again asking you for your patience and please your understanding while our system of due process works. Also remember that all persons arrested are presumed innocent. All persons arrested are presumed innocent. You all will have an innate desire to subjectively interpret and then report what you think. We in the law enforcement realm cannot, and you should never allow us to, talk about what we think concerning facts, but rather discuss and share at the right time what it is we know. The time will come when additional details can be released. But again, today is not that day. It's about Abby and Libby, their families, and this community, this nation, and even our planet. The prosecutor has been very clear with law enforcement about what his expectations are, about what can and cannot be released, shared, or discussed. So we will, of course, comply. If you choose to be critical of our silence, be critical of me. not the front line. These are the folks that have committed their entire lives to a successful conclusion. In other words, a guilty verdict. As we move to the next phase of this investigation, I will continue to offer all resources that the ISP has to not only the investigative team I anticipate growing, but also to Prosecutor McClellan as we prepare for the coming months. Again, Nick has been very resolute and very clear, and I'm most grateful for his leadership. And it's going to be really important as we move forward. Please continue offering tips that you would like to share. The many avenues to report will remain open and will be available to all. Please continue doing that. In closing, I stand before you in this church and very place where we held our first briefing nearly 6 years ago, and just hours after the murders of Abby and Libby. Right here. Pulling in today, I wasn't really sure what emotion I would experience. But peace came over me. And I didn't expect that to happen. And I hope all of you, with all the different responsibilities you have from around the planet today, have felt some of that as well. But remember, we're not done. I think what we all have experienced proves that together there's nothing we cannot do. But more importantly, giving of ourselves, all of us, giving of ourselves matters more than what we could ever receive. Abby and Libby, though in death, have had a profound effect on so many of us, on how we live, and as importantly, who we all should be. I would now like to introduce to you my friend and the Carroll County Sheriff, Tom Ledsaby, for his remarks. Sheriff.
I believe in a God of justice and righteousness. Today, I believe that same God has provided us with justice for Abby and Libby. As Sheriff of Carroll County, Indiana, I want to publicly and sincerely thank each individual who played a role in helping us during this 5.5-year investigation. Whether it was in an investigative capacity, providing tips, cards or letters of suggestions or encouragement, phone calls, and thousands of other countless ways of communicating. I earnestly thank those who prayed for this moment in time. We now move forward through the Indiana criminal justice system, allowing the system to provide its due diligence and process in providing that justice which is owed Abby and Libby, their families, and this community. Thank you.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Nicholas McClellan. I'm the Carroll County Prosecutor. And before we get started, I want to reiterate some of the things that Sheriff Ledsaby and Superintendent Carter stated. I first want to thank both of them. They've been a great support to my office throughout this investigation. They've always been there for a phone call and always been willing to help a hand or a line of assistance to me and my office during this investigation. I want to thank the team behind me. This is the Homicide Task Force team that we've put together. Thank them and thank their families for being so understanding for the many nights they've worked away from their families, away from their children. There are many dates in a lifetime that you're going to remember. The date your children are born, the date you're married, the date you buy a first house, the date Abby and Libby went missing. One of those dates was last Friday, October 28, 2022. At that time, we had gathered evidence to formulate a PC that we submitted to the court, and the judge did find probable cause for an arrest of Richard Allen. He's been charged with 2 counts of murder for the murder of Abigail Williams and Liberty German. This investigation is still very ongoing. We're keeping the tip line open, the tip email open. We encourage everybody to continue to call in tips, not only about Richard Allen, but about any other person that you may have. For that reason and for the nature of this case, the probable cause and the charging information has been sealed by the court. I've been very clear to everybody that per the court order, we cannot talk about the evidence that's in the probable cause or the evidence that's in the charging information. That will become evident to you at some point and it'll be released, but right now is not that day. Today's about Abby and Libby, focusing on them. Mr. Allen has had his initial hearing. He's entered a preliminary plea of not guilty. The matter's been set for a pretrial on January 13th at 9 a.m., 2023, and a trial date of March 20th, 2023 at 9 a.m. He is presumed innocent. We will have an opportunity and day in court when we can present the evidence that we have against him. But until that day, he is presumed innocent. I want to open up to a few limited questions from the audience. But again, keep in mind, we are not going to talk about the evidence that we have in this case or about the charging information. We cannot. Those things have been sealed by the court. And so I want to open up a few questions.
Prosecutor, when did Richard Allen become a suspect? And do you think he acted alone?
Again, that's part of the investigation, so I'm not going to talk about those things. What I can say is that we have probable cause established by the court for his arrest, and he is in custody. He's being held currently without bond.
How long has he been a suspect?
I'm sorry? Again, that gets into the evidence we have of the investigation. And I know from everybody, it's frustrating. I know everybody, not only reporters, but the family, everybody wants to know more information. I understand it's frustrating, but my goal is to maintain the integrity of this case.
Superintendent Carter, you had said that you believe that you had spoken to the suspect or the suspect's family 2 years ago. Is this man?
But we're getting into the timeline of events, and today's not the time to do that.
Can you talk about how rare it is?
Family, I know you've had a lot of conversations with them. We were almost in tears pretty much when we started off this press conference. Can't imagine how emotional it is for everybody that's worked on this case. What was your conversation first like with the family, Abby and Libby, when you were able to tell them you finally got the suspect?
It was a very personal moment for me, and I think it was a very personal moment for them, for all of us that have had interaction with the family. We developed a relationship that I think is going to last at least one lifetime, and maybe a second. So it was a very, very, very sad yet a very humbling experience.
Superintendent, you asked for tips, you detective work, there was a reward for $325,000. Did this all come together to make this nexus? Is that the combination of all three things that led us to this day? Was it one or the other?
Well, eventually you'll be able to see what led us to this day, but again, today's not that day. To include the reward, you mentioned that, Raphael, about the reward itself, and again, very premature for us to talk about that. There's still a tremendous amount of work to do.
How much would you say that Abby and Libby have taught you in depth that we can remain to continue on with them?
I think probably resilience and understanding the value of each and every day. That today was the day, but I didn't anticipate they ever thought today would be their day. And I feel like I've known for a long time. Excuse me?
Do you assume there's any other individuals involved in this case?
We haven't closed the door on the investigation. And so that's why we keep the tip line and the tip email open. And so we're not presuming anything at this point, but we're going to continue to take tips, continue to take any information anybody has. And as we've done with all the information we've gathered, we're going to look at that and examine that and see where it leads us.
Can you explain public hearing is held? We should be able to see all the documents, right?
Sure, sure.
You made a decision. Can you explain your decision as to why you believe that maybe for the next 30 days, no one in this room should have access to those records?
Sure. It is unusual. We don't do it very often in all the cases that we handle here in Carroll County. We did it in this case because the investigation is still open. And while all cases are important, the nature of this case has some extra scrutiny with it. And so my office, felt it was important to seal those records. There will be a public hearing on whether or not those records are going to remain sealed or not. There'll be public notice for that hearing so that everyone can attend, but there will be a hearing to determine whether or not they're going to stay sealed. But for now, to me, it's about protecting the integrity of this case. I want to have an opportunity at some point to have an opportunity in court to explain the evidence and for that not to be tarnished or tainted or anything like that. Again, he's presumed innocent. And so it was important for me in this case to do that. Hold on just a minute. We're not going to comment on that right now as part of the investigation. Again, we just encourage everybody to continue to call in tips if they have them about anybody, and we'll examine those tips. That's a hard question to answer. It's a mixed emotions. I've been watching the news all weekend like everybody else has, and I think a lot of the members of the public said it right. It's bittersweet. It's a step in the right direction. It's concerning that he's a local guy. So I think just different emotions. Again, this is a step in the right direction. This is the first step into getting into court and having a trial. And so.
All right. That concludes our press conference today. Shortly, I will be releasing a press release that will have his photo and a couple more details that'll also be here for handout. That'll also be on the Indiana State Police Lafayette Post Facebook page. Right after this press conference, I'm going to send it out. There's also hard documents in the back. Thank you all for taking the time to be here today, and be safe as you travel home.
Wow.
Wow was right. Wow.
So what do you got to say about where they're coming from?
It's amazing. Listen, I can understand why they want to lock everything down for a brief time. I get it. You know, they want things to cool down first before they release stuff. I understand that. Do you think that somebody else is involved with the type of rhetoric that they're kind of using right now? I still think that there's an open door. Oh, man. But I believe they charging him with 2 counts of murder.
No bail. It's him, right?
Yeah, it's him. I mean, it's him. You know, what's the other piece? If there is one, you know, we'll have to see. But you know,
and they don't know. They're just saying we're not going to toot our own horn, really, right?
They didn't give us much. They gave us, you know, he's charged with 2 counts of murder. They're you know, it's a big day. It's a big day. You know,
they got their guy. You think?
Yeah,
I think so too.
You know, remember how much unknown hair, unknown fibers. Listen, it is vindication. They eventually got him. But if the dogs came and how close he was, dude, he could have walked straight down, you know, down the creek side to that bridge creek, out on 200 to his house. And let me tell you something, the dogs would have dragged their handler the whole way.
Right to his house, probably.
Right to the door. You know,
they screwed up big time, huh?
It was a big it's a massive fuck up, but vindication came. They got him. You know. Fig, what do you feel?
Man, it's huge. I know everyone wants more information, but we got the biggest information of all. Who killed these girls?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we all wanted to know, and we got that.
Sleuth just lit up a celebratory cigar. There you go. Listen, it's a big day, man. This is what everybody's been here for, you know? Seeing Carter shake. This is a man who's seen a lot, man, and he was shaking. It's big. Big day.
We got him.
With the other people being involved, I mean, yeah, they leave the open door for sure. I thought it was interesting. They pretty much the Kleins were part of the investigation still. And, you know, they're going to be looking for other witnesses who are going to come forward now. So the tip line's still open. It could be as simple as that they just want, hey, did someone, who else was involved? Meaning, did someone cover for him at work? Like, do some of this time card. You know, there's other people that could be involved.
After the
have
fact,
to be some grand scheme.
Was there an accessory to help him cover?
Right.
Was, you know, someone else there? There's a lot of questions, but, you know, it's only going to be speculation now. You know, he's charged with 2 counts of murder. You're not doing they're not doing that unless they're concrete that he was there and he swung, you know, the bladed weapon.
Looks like we got the captain just joining us. How you doing, Captain? How you feeling about all this?
Oh man, can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear, man.
I can hear you fine.
So yeah, there was a moment when they're at the end. I don't know if you guys caught it, but they asked McClellan if the Kleins were involved, and he specifically said that's a part of the investigation, and he wouldn't comment on it.
I heard that. Yep. Yeah. True. Good pointing that out.
I mean, there's no way that they're keeping the tip lines open unless they. I mean, I strongly feel like if they didn't think that there were more people involved, they would have said a lot more today.
Yeah, I think that Yubo yellow app might come into play too.
I think the political fear for us wasn't that they're going to get the wrong guy, but they might jump the gun. Maybe is the political part. They're like, okay, we got to get this guy. We've had our eyes on him. We might not have all of the pieces yet. We have enough to make the arrest, and then we'll do our best to make the case. You know, I hope they didn't jump the gun.
No, I don't think they did because it's cross-functional. I think that's why, you know, if it was only the sheriff's county, the county sheriff's office, then maybe. But since they have ISP involved and other agencies, I think they kind of cross-check. I don't think they would do it for political reasons. I think they found something good.
Yeah, they definitely found something good. You know.
Yeah. So have you guys heard about the search that took place at his house? I heard that they were digging in a flower bed. Then I heard it was a fire pit. Do you guys have any information on that?
I heard it was a fire pit.
Stolen property or something was what brought their attention.
Either the 14th or 17th of the month.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, and then the murder sheet on their episode, they said they walked the house and they saw that a rose bed seemed disturbed, like it's been moved up. They nosed around a bit, so it might have been both. They might have dug up where the fire pit was in the back and also a rose bed.
And that was a week before his arrest, right?
11 days.
11
to 14.
Yeah.
11 to 14 days.
That's a hell of a coincidence.
Yeah, it is.
So I mean, if you ask yourself, I mean, if it was something like electronic or a murder weapon, you'd imagine an arrest would have happened sooner than that, right?
Well, think about
like maybe it was forensic in nature.
How long ago was it that they were digging in Peru?
Good point. Very, very good point. And then, there's always the question: Did the search in Peru end up leading them to him? This is so crazy right now.
I still think that there's a web that's connecting things. They're just not gonna tell us.
No, I tend to agree.
Yeah, it'd be very unusual that the search happened and then they just so happen to find or make an arrest and execute a search warrant right after that. The timing is very suspicious now.
Well, maybe they wanted to get some data back though. Maybe they found something, they had to crunch it and they had to get it back.
A souvenir or something that he buried and they wanted to analyze it. Or, the rumors they dug up a cat.
Let's put it this way, right? Everybody keeps saying, do they have his DNA?
I heard that.
But what if they don't just need his DNA? What if they found the girl's DNA?
Yeah,
right.
That's just as big.
or something that he took from the crime scene. I mean, I
Mhm.
just have a feeling that whatever it was conclusive enough that they felt strongly enough to make an
No
arrest.
bail.
They've been so careful. So whatever they found had to have been big.
Yeah, it's true. So remember, it had to be like 6-8 months ago. We were just talking about crime scenes, and I'm like, there's people that go to barbershops and collect hair and throw it everywhere. On that 4chan thing, under that Richard stuff, there was a comment about a barbershop and hair, which is very coincidental.
Wow.
I haven't
Which is
seen
weird.
that.
Yeah, it's
And-
out there. It's in the
And what you
that
said about the
4chan.
fire pit as well kind of reminded me of that episode. I think it was Dexter, where he like buried some of that evidence under his fire pit.
Yeah.
And then after you mentioned it, I looked online, and apparently that's something very common with killers.
Yeah.
They
Yeah. Oh,
right
it is.
under the fire pit.
Well, they did it. They did it with the what's the Daybell case. That was
Yeah.
the fire pit.
So if they found a souvenir, let's say they found a souvenir or something that was taken from the crime scene, it doesn't really need any of his evidence. It just has to be on his property and contain maybe one of the victim's DNA or
Exactly.
something along those lines.
Exactly.
It's got to be something like that, right?
Has to be. I mean, look. I mean, Carter was shaking. He feels that they got the man. Was he alone? We don't know, but it's a big day, man. Very big day.
Yeah, I wish there could have been more of like a definitive conclusion to this, but I feel very strongly that this is not over.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
If you don't mind me touching back on something you just mentioned a few moments ago, you were talking about a barbershop. Are you suggesting that the killer might have like taken hair from a barbershop to throw off law enforcement or something? Or like, what are you suggesting with that? I don't.
There's been cases that I worked on a case where it possibly happened 15 years ago, and we just don't know. Yeah, and then on that 4chan where that Richard is mentioned, there's just a Richard, doesn't say his last name. In there is talk about hair being taken from a barbershop to taint a crime scene, which is bananas.
Wow.
But think about it. Somebody takes hair from a barbershop, that's like throwing a DNA bomb. People talk about bleach. You don't need bleach. You throw that out there. You're talking about, you're talking about, it could be 150, 250 people's DNA. That's a problem. So that's just a hypothetical, but that is put on that 4chan, and which
sounds like a nightmare for investigators.
It is. It absolutely is.
But people do it. So it's not far fetched when you talk about tainting crime scenes and stuff like that. It happens.
Not at all.
It doesn't take a genius to be like, okay, I've decided I'm going to commit a murder. Now, how do I cover my tracks?
Think about it. Is somebody going to walk with a bleach bottle? You know what I mean? That's just a weird thing. And to think you're going to clean all your DNA off of a murder scene with a small bleach bottle. You know what I mean?
Did you guys happen to see that video the Inquisitor put out?
Yes, we talked about it briefly, but it's very interesting. And I think Figs said he was working with him. He has a lot of further information on all that. So I'm very interested in that.
Fig, what else is in there? What else is in there? It's a Pinterest?
Yeah, there's a Pinterest. So yeah, I'm working with a small group of folks in Discord, and they're tracking down email addresses. So there's one that has Richard Allen 72 in it, and for Pinterest that mentions Abby in it, which is very strange. So they're tracking some things down right now. Inquisitor and Turbo and Alex, they're looking into some things. So we don't want to present anything too soon.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, there'll be some more stuff. I'm sure Inquisitor will release some more
Paul
stuff.
Holes was shot down. He wasn't a consultant. He was shot down. They didn't want his help, and it's not anything against him. They had their team.
Captain, what'd you think about that video?
There's so much stuff that's confusing to me right now. I've been honestly racking my brain about this. I'm really glad that CD's here because I have some questions for you, man. I hope you don't mind.
No, shoot.
What are your thoughts on the alias thing? Like, this is a real human being. He actually had like a fake identity.
I mean, listen, there are people that do that so that they could gain a second financial background. Opening credit cards, that kind of stuff. But having the living guy so close, it's usually somebody, across the country. So I mean, it is a very weird thing, and the guy's a lot younger than him, isn't he?
I'm not
He's like
sure.
40. I think
Where
he's
does
40.
he live though? Like what town? Do you know?
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. I have it. It's
Yeah, it's in Indiana. I know it's not too far away, and there's
No,
like
it's
a
not too
father and son too, so it got a little confusing.
'Cause it's such a
Idaville,
weird name. It's a very
Idaville,
uncommon name.
Indiana.
Idaville?
Yeah, Idaville, Indiana.
That's not
If
confusing.
you want details, just send me an email and I'll give
Awesome.
I'll give you the address. I'm just not going to put it out here.
There's just so much stuff I don't understand about this. I know that, you know, Richard, the fact that this guy has managed to fly under the radar is just insane to me. I mean, like the
It's
moment I
insane.
think all of us saw him, like, I mean, he looks exactly like what I thought, you know, the bridge guy would look, especially in
Think
the
of
face.
Bridge Guy.
Between both sketches. That's him.
But just think of Bridge Guy's blurry face and just close your eyes and see his face and you see it a little bit. You do. You know, he's got that broad, I wouldn't say piggish nose, but he's got that broad bottom nose. You know, it's kind of distinct. It's crazy.
The guy was taking photos with the sketch of the killer in the background right behind him. I mean, he put his daughter on the bridge and took a picture of her. It's insane that this guy managed to fly under the radar. I actually heard that he frequented the bar that Anna Williams worked at. And if that's true,
That's so creepy.
But Sooth, that's his sexual gratification. That's the gratification he's getting. You know? That's a whole psychological side of it. He's reliving that sitting there at that bar, you know?
In your
Yeah, it's so
experience in
creepy.
law enforcement, how long do you think that we might be looking at before we get some more information here, CD?
Well, I would think, I think within 30 to 60 days, they'll have that open hearing about keeping it closed or not.
Okay.
You know? And then if they open it, they're going to, you know, they would immediately drop the arrest affidavit. And that's going to, I mean, just think of Keegan's, it's going to be very telling. Very telling. But let me tell you something, it just bothers the shit out of me when you think of Ron Logan's search warrant and how they aimed at him because they missed something. You know, same thing with calling the dogs off, you know?
No, I think a lot of mistakes happened here, but I think that some of those, I mean, even what you were hinting at earlier, it might have been intentional, like by design, by
See
the
the
killer.
knee? See the knee there?
So crazy.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. Hiding in plain sight is such a fact here, man.
Right.
Just a little
Mind
guy.
blown.
They nailed the profile that they did of him. I think in the 2019 press conference, they were speaking to the profile, and that profile, they nailed it.
They did.
Hiding in plain sight. Those are all profile terminology, and they had this guy to a T. So if you could reverse engineer, it kind of tells us a little bit about the crime scene. So this person is like a BTK type killer is what they thought. Their profile was very similar to that of BTK, someone hiding in plain sight, someone who maybe didn't sexually assault the victims there, but got some sort of sexual gratification from it.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
So it's
So,
interesting.
have you guys seen, and it's been floating around on Facebook, I noticed it this morning, there's an image of a guy that was at the 1-year press conference. Have you guys seen that? I mean, it looks just like him, man.
The guy in the hoodie.
Think about that press conference and remember
The one where they're out on the
whispering, but
trails?
yeah. And you could
Oh, the
hear them
guest of honor?
whisper. Well, they said something like the guy he's here. Yeah, exactly.
No,
You know what
the guest of honor is what they said.
Yeah.
Is that what they said? The guest of honor?
Yeah, the guest of honor is here.
Man, let me tell you, they did a great job.
Guys, I'm having some mic problems. Give me a minute. Let me see if I can try to fix this. I'm going to step out.
Yeah, no problem. I'm happy the captain stopped in.
Yeah, me too.
This chat is exploding. So it's a busy day.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with the chat. I have it on a 1-minute delay, and I know that's probably frustrating for everybody, but if you want us and everybody that's a guest here, CD, Fig, and the captain, if you want us to answer your questions, we got to have it set up that way. But the drone, yeah, they didn't mention the drone. Not much talk about the drone.
I know. You guys got to remember. I know everybody hangs on that drone, like because what you're alluding to is that the bodies weren't there. That's a falsehood. It's in there. Ron Logan's affidavit is facts. The bodies were moved a few feet to complete a staging. The bodies never left that area.
Right.
It's nonsense. It's just nonsense. Sorry, but it's nonsense.
Yeah, that Ron Logan affidavit, it's a persuasive document. They're trying to persuade someone. It's not 100% fact. Take everything at face value. So I don't think people understand that the way that it's written is in a persuasive manner.
Well, yeah, you have facts, but then you have the
right.
It's not. It's more. Yeah.
Well, the way I understand it,
the whole phone shit could have been eliminated because it's all bullshit. Because you guys all know.
Is this true, CD?
Who's that?
It's kind of like the judge. No matter what's in that probable cause affidavit, it's really, if the judge just finds one little piece of probable cause, like we're good to go anyway, right? Regardless of what's in there. It's up to him to make the decision.
If there is bullshit in that and that comes back, heads are going to roll.
It's a crime.
You do not want to. Yeah, you don't want to lie on a search warrant, but you could extend the truth. You're not bending. You're just the whole GPS shit and his phone and a text message. That's all nonsense. There's no way he could have been on the bridge. Okay, now what's the difference between the affidavit and an interview? So now in an interview, you can lie your ass off, right? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And when you're interrogating somebody, but again, you're going to only bullshit what the other person the person you're interrogating doesn't know. You know what I mean? When you're going at them with, this is facts, and they know that answer, you're not going to lie on that part. You're going to lie where you're going to get them to fall
you failed your lie detector test.
Yeah,
maybe
you failed your lie detector test. Yeah, not even that. It's like we spoke to somebody else who has access to just anything to lead to, man, do they have me? You want that question in their head.
Your girlfriend told us everything, man.
Yeah,
she told us everything.
Yeah, because you remember they were talking about which phone was his, which phone was the girlfriend's. They were trying to trip him up just with little questions like that. Like, did they look at my girlfriend's phone? Do I have anything on there? You just want somebody's mind elsewhere so that you could catch him.
I mean, how is Anthony Shots not connected to this? How is it that we got stuck on all that if it's not connected?
The reason that we got stuck on it is because they put it out there. They attached it to this case. I don't know. I mean,
and it could still be connected, right? I mean, am I hearing this wrong? I mean, from what I hear, what Doug Carter was saying, something could be still. There could be other pieces to this, or is that just lingo for translate to? We're just waiting for the court proceedings.
I personally don't think it that way. That they're just waiting for the court proceedings. You're leaving a door. When they ask that question, he says the clients are it's still an investigation. The tip lines are. Why say that if this is final, and this is the guy? You say it. This is it. We have him.
And they said that. I think Tobe said that. Yeah, Tobe said it pretty clearly.
Yeah, I think there's.
McClellan didn't.
I'd be surprised if Kagan wasn't connected somehow. So I'd be surprised if he's not.
Even if it's Dropbox related,
Yeah, he seems very suspicious, right? You guys saw him in that video where his wife snuck up on him and he closed whatever he was doing in the car.
Oh yeah, when he was in the car, yeah, he was like, ooh, yeah, he was on.
Normal people don't do that.
Lurking. No.
Yeah, you don't hide your phone from your wife. What are you doing, bro? What was that?
Yeah. And
then he kind of looked up at her like, "Don't you know I'll kill you?"
He kind of looked at her like he was busted but pissed.
Yeah,
you know
bust like you're always messing around. Don't you know I could hurt you or something? Mm-hmm. It was a really evil look.
Listen, he's got. I mean, look at that picture that they put out early this morning or late last night. I mean, he's got some evil eyes to him. He's got those eyes of just like they're looking through you. Kind of like an Undertaker. I don't know if you ever had. I know a lot of different people who own funeral homes and stuff, and I don't like talking to them because I feel like they're always sizing you up, man. It's just a weird. I'm not kidding. I'm not being serious.
What are you about, a 32?
You know, it's just it's an awkward encounter. It's like they're talking to you, but I feel like they're just like looking out. Yeah, well, how many liters has he got in him? I don't know. It's just an uncomfortable.
It's like those old Western movies where they
Yeah.
walk by and they like measure you.
Yeah,
on
they
your way to
measure
a
you
gunfight.
for the pine box outside. You know, it's terrible.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna play this quick little video and get your guys' opinion on it. So this is where I think these were all taken off of his Facebook.
No, it's off the wife's Facebook. I saw these.
Yeah, the wife's Facebook, I believe.
Yeah, and I think she took it all down now. Thank
Right
God
here.
they're out there.
Hey, what are you doing, bro? He's not even looking. He just closes it.
Yeah, yeah. Look at that. It's like
he has a black eye. Did you see that? Look at his eye.
Is it black eye or is it lack of sleep? You know? Yeah, there's something going on with his eye down there.
It looked like he got popped.
Captain said, trying to fix my mic. I can't hear myself in my own headset, but I can hear you guys.
He sounded fine when he checked out. Captain, you sounded okay. So I don't know. Is that the jacket?
Exactly.
Man.
But let's think about that,
there.
though. Like, let's say, I mean, would it be that stupid to wear? I mean, would you buy a new one, or would you really wear the same one?
I think this is 2016, so this is like a month.
Oh, okay. So that if it's before it, if it's prior, that's different. But if it was after the fact, it's just weird.
But that hat, there was always something I could find when I was trying to analyze the image, and it kind of looked like a snake face or something. So I'm wondering if he kept that hat. I wonder if there's DNA on that hat.
Are you talking about the hat? Because the wife was wearing the camel hat in one of the pictures.
I'm referring to the Route 66 hat.
Oh, okay.
And it looks like he was wearing it before the crime and then after the crime. So that could have been one of his trophies too.
Yeah, this guy's a real piece of shit, man. Real piece of shit.
Never smiles, huh?
Well, would you smile if you felt that everybody in Delphi is sizing you up to possibly be the bridge guy? You know, I mean, he knows he's guilty. Does anybody else? That's the question. Anywhere he goes, and he worked in the town at the local CVS. Come on,
he's cold-blooded, huh?
The balls. I mean, think about that.
Some cold-blooded shit.
I mean, the rumor is that when Tara went to pick up pictures for the funeral, to do a display of Libby, he was the one that gave her the pictures at CVS
for free. He's like, no charge.
I mean, think about that. Though, how twisted that is, Damn. Big day today, man. It's a big day.
I thought they were going to give us more information. I was expecting more.
It's a stunner. It is. It's a stunner.
It's a stunner. I'm glad they made an arrest for sure. It's somewhat relieving.
Listen, this is so huge. It's what every one of us wanted. I mean, we were closing out on 6 years. It's big, Did we see if the family spoke to any reporters afterwards or no? We hear anything in the chat? Anybody see in the chat?
Yeah, let me take a look. Let's see what's going on.
I would think that they would speak outside, just briefly. Rebecca, that man will not be taking showers with many people because he wouldn't last in the shower. They would take him out. The guy would not last in general population.
Oh, they got the mugshot up.
Gloria, let the wife stick by him. I mean, it is what it is.
And Fig, if you find anything, feel free to share it on the screen. I'm just kind of browsing now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm taking a peek, see what's out there. But
looks like WGN News is live. I'll see what they're up to. Let this commercial clear.
Trent, believe it, man. They're not going to charge somebody with 2 counts of murder if they weren't involved. They have enough that's tying him to the murder scene, the girls. You don't just throw murder charges around like they're cookies. They got him.
Nothing here. See what Sonny's up to.
Jen, the things he wouldn't burn are the trophies. You know, you're gonna burn, the jacket. You keep torching it over and over again in your bit, but you're not. The trophies are important to a killer.
Almost like you can't live without it, probably.
Yeah, it's the way they get to keep. It's like they, in a sense, that piece has the soul of their victims. And if you think of it like that, that's what it means to them.
They get to relive it.
Yeah.
Here
I'm
we
thinking
go.
about him imagine him being at a bar where Abby's mom works, and he's, what he's fantasizing sitting there. Sick bastard, man.
Yeah, that's disgusting. That Duper's Delight shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was having some issues with my internet. Now everything seems to be just running really quick.
I also think that, all those sites were an overload. I mean, this case is huge. It's touched so many.
Well, I checked with my wife. She said it looked like the Xbox was on. And it's always downloading, uploading.
Hey, there's my buddy Jennifer. Hey, Ron Logan. Yeah. I mean, just take her off. Why is she even up there? It's so strange.
Oh, is she the one that was accusing him?
Yes, she was on her own Twitter. Yes, and the guy that I think Marvin Frank had him on, the guy, was he private investigator? That said it's Ron Logan too.
Oh, Jensen.
Yeah, another nut.
They're still saying that.
Yeah,
they're
that's what I'm
still
saying.
saying it's Ron Logan.
But yet she's on live while they're gonna introduce the killer. Just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so obviously she's making this about her and wants publicity.
Yeah. Thanks. She's
Rather
trying to
than
get in News
following
Nation, buddy.
the facts. She's out
She
of the
wants to
loop.
be in a News Nation,
Yeah. She's retired. She's not in the loop anymore. I mean, she's just trying to stay relevant. I guess she's bored in her retirement.
Yeah.
Meet that.
Yeah, no real criminal history. I think he had some DUI or something earlier, but remember there was a statement, I think, who was it who made it? Riley, who said, it's like this person has never committed a crime before. I think it was on Michael Catt's channel, 2018.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, so I thought that's interesting. It was telling.
Well, think about, did they get turned on to him when he did his fingerprints for working at CVS as a pharmacist? Did they only have a partial and they were able to, try and put two and two together, but didn't have enough?
What about the drug
They
aspect?
interviewed him, 2 years ago? Right? 2 years ago they interviewed him and supposedly cleared him?
2017 is what I heard.
Oh, so that was very early on they interviewed him.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the dude has access to all those drugs in that pharmacy as well.
Oh yeah, but you're not going to last if you're siphoning stuff out of there. Everything's pretty. Basically, you have checks and balances while you're taking in a shipment. There's somebody else with you doing the inventory.
I lost that video. Oh well, but I know what you're referring to, Fig. He asks them, so what's going on with the DNA? Do you have DNA? He says, yeah, but it's like the guy had never committed a crime before.
Yeah, I remember that. We're all pretty much. I think everybody's just in shock because it's such a big day.
Yeah, maybe there was DNA. I hope there's DNA because that will hopefully lead to a conviction. But if there was DNA, that might explain some of the Klein's or Kagan's behavior, where he maybe he got cleared. So it's like, all right, I'll talk about Red G. I'll talk about all this stuff. I know I've been cleared, so I'll say whatever and
Manipulate.
maybe he got a deal so he could speak freely.
Do you think he's connected, or you think he was just lying about all that stuff, like the Jeep and stuff along those lines? I'm wondering if he did. Let's say he is connected to this Richard guy, and somehow whatever's found in Peru was maybe, let's say, Kagan's part of it, and it would help lead to the other person. And maybe they were watching Richard. They were watching him to see, waiting for him to panic and waiting for him to go dig up or lead them maybe to the souvenir that the profile kind of suggested he definitely was holding on to. So maybe that caused a panic. He reacted, and started digging up stuff, trying to hide stuff, and got himself in trouble maybe.
I mean, it could be. I mean, there has to be something to Keegan, to the Vegas stuff, the searches, you're in Vegas. Why are you searching about two girls being murdered? When he's trying to get a hooker with his father.
And meet somebody. It's so suspicious.
There's just so many things that are head scratchers.
Crazy.
Yeah, it might be one of the names listed in the affidavit. And I know there's a few people going through and finding each person who's behind certain accounts. So we'll keep everyone posted on what comes up.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Let us know. Oral interview said a neighbor came by and asked him if they could search his property. I don't know what does that mean? Oh yeah, that was Pat Brown. Pat Brown asked him if he could search.
Another interesting thing is some of the theories we were talking about, the Riley Park and people walking under the bridge to access the south end. That's something we talked about quite a bit. So that theory is looking more probable to me now with his location.
Yeah.
Where that young guy sketch it's right. There's a straight path from where this guy lived to where young guy sketch was seen to the bridge.
So when you think about it, about 80% of that walk could be in a wooded area, maybe 85%. I think it's just out on 200 is where he would be out, is when he hits 200.
And right here, Fig, remember you had your theory of the guy kind of coming out this way?
Uh-huh.
So really, what if he just came this way?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking after. I made a wrong turn there. Instead of right towards the CPS building, I think it was the left now.
Yeah.
Well, my theory was
Bridge Creek.
My first, it actually was part of my original Mean Teen theory, was that maybe because of Abby living over here, closer to the bridge, that somebody that was possibly living here, a young boy, came this way and would maybe meet up with them kind of out here. This is kind of the big backyard for them. So maybe they would kind of sneak over this way and meet up here secretly. And then on that day, maybe set something up for like a Valentine's thing. And that's why the signatures were there. And that's where the attack happened. That was the theory. But replace a teenage boy and just put this creep there, and that could fit too. Because apparently there's trails that go all the way from here, from Riley Park, under. And then if you zoom into these, you can see the same thing here as well.
Yep. They go straight up.
Yep. And you could look at all that coverage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 80% is wooded,
Right.
Take the private drive and then just walk straight through here.
Go nice and slow. It's
Yeah, I talked to Steve from True Crime Web yesterday on the phone. Just gave him a quick phone call, and he was talking about that since he was just out there. He said that's likely the path that you're showing right now. He said the same thing, that you could go. It's not that bad of a route to go through those woods.
Not at all. Bill did it. He tried it over here. He took the wrong path, but that's just because he didn't look at the aerial map very well. But if he would have just taken a right instead of a left, he could have done the same thing from Riley Park. So if this guy lives over here in this weird little pyramid
That's
thing,
where it is. It's right off of the West 200 over there. That's where it is.
yeah, I mean, he could easily have either walked, could have been fishing, or he could have been plotting.
Yeah.
And took, I don't know, does he have an ATV or something? I mean, he could easily.
Suppose he has a couple ATVs.
Did you hear that old man, that interview with that old man who was like, yeah, there's ATVs. We're ripping in and out of here all the time. Did you guys see that interview?
No.
Yeah, he kind of looks like Ron Logan, and he was talking shit about Dan McCain.
Oh, really?
The Freedom Bridge butted up right to his property. So that must
Okay.
put him like right here.
Yeah, and if ATVs are ripping out back and forth, I mean, you know how loud they are, especially in the winter when everything's down. You know, there's no more leaves giving you some, taking some of the noise.
And the guy kind of looks like he's dressed like he's riding. But the thing is, the guy was wearing the jacket that he seems like he likes. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'll tell
Like you don't wear your mall jacket when you're off roading. You wear your mall jacket when you're out doing something you shouldn't be doing.
Right. He knew the girl's schedule because his daughter was in, I believe, high school at the time. So probably the same as the junior high and high school had the same snow day, same schedule. So he knew they'd be out there. I don't know, out there, but he knew they had the day off. So I wonder on CVS, what was he? Did he have Mondays off? Where was he? I'm sure they've checked into all this before they made an arrest.
And another thing is did you say he had access to photos? He worked actually in the photo shop too, in the photo, the 1 hour photo area.
Well, you know how they cover all those units. Yeah, there's nobody dedicated just to the photos.
Yeah, well, there is, and because I used to do that when I worked at Walgreens long time ago when I was 18.
Yeah.
But there was just a photo guy. It was a photo lab guy. But we had access to all. Sometimes we'd see all these crazy photos. So I'm wondering if he did have access to photos, what if he was coveting that way?
Could be, man. Could be. I think Adam mentioned the other day about like the Robin Williams 1 hour photo. You know, remember how creepy he was in that movie? That kind of thing. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking about right now. That movie's scary.
It's creepy. It's so creepy. The way he just walks around, creepy.
Yeah, and think about it. You're trusting people with those images. Like we would have people be like, "Hey, like I know you're not supposed to develop these, but I'm just letting you know. Like it's a bunch of like basically us, doing provocative things." I was like, I'll do it. But the shit we would see come through that photo lab, man, crazy stuff.
Oh yeah,
man. All these people that come in and out of the store, they're acting all proper, and then you develop their film and they're like snorting cocaine, and you're like, what the hell is this?
Oh
yeah.
Man.
So I mean, maybe this guy got his hands on some people that are often coming in and taking photos, and he just was like, just got obsessed with it somehow.
Listen, there's a lot to him, and we're not even getting anything. They're not giving us much, but they must have a lot of info on him, and what he was doing behind his wife's back. Because even if he hasn't killed again, he's still doing weird shit.
There could be others, huh? Let me take a look at this WTHR and see what's going on.
All right, I'll be right back.
There it is, W. All right, Vic. We'll see you here in a bit. But you're confident they got their guy, right, CD?
I believe they got him. Yeah. I mean, will there end up being an accomplice? It's possible, but you're not charging somebody with 2 counts of murder unless you got it. They have the evidence to slam them.
We got a caller. Let me check, see what's going on here.
Call from To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Oh, they hung up. It sounded like it might have been Frank.
Could have been, because it sounded like it was very noisy.
Hey, what's going on, Bill? Can't hear you. Can't hear you. You're muted.
Are you muted?
Can't hear you, buddy. Go out and come back in. Here we go. Let's see who's calling in. From Wisconsin.
Call from
Teresa.
Oh, it's Teresa.
To accept, press 1.
Hello, Teresa.
Hey, I just got 2 quick things. I don't know if you saw I was telling you in the chat, but the sicko, I guess he didn't get his pharmacist license till 2018, and he developed and gave Tara the memorial photos and charger, and the same thing with Becky and the flyers. How freaking diabolical.
I wonder if he took copies for himself.
I'm sure he did.
That's so disgusting.
But yeah.
Oh, that made
and
my
I thought
skin crawl a little
exactly-
bit thinking about that.
Yeah, and I thought, like, I was just thinking what you said too, because I totally believe that dude had a GoPro on his head, a little
Going
one.
out, coming in.
And then, somebody had asked Fagan CD if they always plead not guilty. I said mostly they do, just to negotiate a plea, but Carter said no pleas, didn't he? And I don't think the family would want a plea deal.
I didn't hear
wouldn't.
anything about a plea. I just heard no bail. But it doesn't sound like, from what I understand, he's not cooperating.
Right. But I'm saying when they take him into court initially, he'll probably plead not guilty because they think they're going to negotiate a deal. But he ain't getting no deal, in my opinion.
No, he's going to get the death penalty if it's him, and I hope
Oh,
that he
yeah,
does.
I hope he does. And I hope they put him in general population. Well, he'd be in the death row if he's on death row, but
I think they already have
All
like
right,
I think that's why the U.S. Marshal was there, Teresa, is because they're they're basically protecting him, protecting justice.
he's not, they don't really know. Nobody, even guards, don't know exactly where he's jailed, I believe.
Yeah.
So, but I'll hop down. I just wanted to mention those 2 things.
Thanks, Teresa.
Yeah, I haven't slept all night, and I'm like wired as hell, and I got till 3:30. Actually, my oldest is taking my youngest trick-or-treating, so I got plenty of time to sleep, but I'm too wired.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited,
Okay.
and I hope you have a happy Halloween and celebrate this day.
You too. You guys too. Enjoy your kids.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Oh, that was cool. So it looks like we lost CD and we lost Bill. Bill, for some reason, your audio is not coming in, buddy. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Let's see. Let me do a quick little scan of my emails and my messenger and see what's going on here. Let's see. Captain's having some problems. All right. If I were you, Bill, just keep trying it. I'm sure it'll click in. My internet's kind of overwhelmed right now. But here, let me play something while they're trying to get back in here. let's do it this way. Take a quick little intermission, maybe like 5 minutes. That way, if you need to go to the restroom, and then we'll try to figure out what's going on with Bill or any of the other guests who want to jump back on. And then we'll check in. If you guys have any links, if any of the mods have any links to any live coverage right now, what I'd like to do here for the next hour is maybe focus in on that, and then just get our guest reactions and the reactions from the chat. So 5-minute little break here, guys. Yeah, just a quick little intermission. So if anybody needs to go to the restroom or anything, the guests, if you want to try to call back in, we'll try to focus in on the whole next hour, okay? Once again, the next hour will be just kind of going over the news coverage, maybe checking in with some of our friends that are actually in Delphi or at the press conference. We'll check with Frank and see if Sonny and Deb and all them are hanging out. So if you need to go to the restroom, now is the time. Office smells like a cigar smoke. Alrighty. Clean these bad boys. I need some new glasses. What is up?
What's up? Had to get some coffee too. Answer a few emails.
Yeah. So I wish I could get a hold of Frank. Let me put this number up here just in case. Maybe we can get a call from Frank because I know he's there. I would really like to get. I'm sure they asked some questions to some of the lingering members there of law enforcement, hopefully.
Yeah, and I think the ISP, the press release might have came out. I'll check for that to see if they published it.
Yeah, they said, 30 minutes, so it should be available. Yeah, I don't see anybody else live streaming anymore. Oh, Aspen's live. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, here, let's check in with these guys. Let's see if they posted a link. They're just chit-chatting. Looks like it's Mel, Deb, but I don't see anything on live right now. Do you?
No, don't know. Let me see.
All right. Maybe we can play. I think this is a replay. I don't know what was going on with Bill. Could you hear him when he was trying to log in?
No, I can't hear him.
Oh, here we go. Let's listen to Tobe's part.
Okay.
It's almost like he wanted to say more.
Yeah, I think a re-listen would be good.
Here we go. Let me know if you can't hear this.
I believe in a God of justice and righteousness. Today, I believe that same God did us with justice for Abby and Libby. As from Indiana, I want to publicly and sincerely thank each individual who played a role in helping us during this 5.5-year investigation. Whether it was in an investigative capacity, providing tips, cards or letters of suggestions or encouragement, phone calls, and thousands of other countless ways of communicating. I earnestly thank those who prayed for this moment in time. We now move forward through the Indiana criminal justice system, allowing the system to provide its due diligence and process in providing that justice which is owed Abby and Libby, their families, and this community. Thank you.
Wow. To be honest, that was my favorite part, was what Tobe had to say.
My name is Sergeant Jeremy Pierce, Public Information Officer for the Indiana State.
It's like Bill went live. Did you get your hands on that yet, Fig? I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I have a copy. Who's your cold case? Looks like you put a picture of the hard copy that he got while he was there.
Are you able to throw that up by chance?
Let me see if I can just download it. Yeah. Yeah, so this is I could put it up. This is from Who's Your Cold Case.
Oh, thank you, Glenn. Let me grab that link too.
All right, I shared my screen. There we go.
All right. So Carroll County, after an extensive investigation, the Delphi Double Homicide Task Force made an arrest for the murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German. On February 13th, 2017, Abigail Williams and Liberty German were tragically murdered while visiting the Monon High Bridge in Delphi, Indiana. Shortly after, the Indiana State Police and Carroll County Sheriff's Office created the Delphi Double Homicide Task Force, which encompassed federal, state, local law enforcement agencies. This task force has worked diligently the last 5.5 years to ensure the horrendous crime did not go unsolved. On Wednesday, October 26, 2022, detectives with the Delphi Double Homicide Task Force took Richard Allen, 50, from Delphi, Indiana, into custody at the Indiana State Police Lafayette Post for the murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German. Allen was transported to Carroll County Jail, where he was being held. On Friday, October 28, 2022, Allen was formally charged with 2 counts of murder and transported to the White County Jail, where he is currently being held without bond. The White County Jail. I wonder how far that is. We would like to thank everyone who was involved throughout this investigation, which included the Indiana State Police, Carroll County Sheriff's Office, Carroll County Prosecutor's Office, United States Marshals Service, Great Lakes Regional Fugitive Task Force, Federal Bureau of Investigation, and numerous other federal and local agencies. These agencies have invested countless hours and resources into the investigation. This is an active and ongoing investigation. There is no further information to release at this time. Thank you, Hoosier Cold Cases, for posting that. Appreciate you. Yeah, so they're convinced this is our man. I mean, it's possible that nothing else is connected and could be complete coincidence, though, right? At the same time.
Yeah, and I think it's like, who cares if anything else is connected, right? There's
Mhm.
that. It's like,
Yeah.
they got their guy. Let's be happy with that. But then our brains are going to start going a little bit like, all right, they got this guy, good, main thing's done. Now they seem like they want to know what other people are connected. Did other people aid in any way in letting this guy get away with it? I'm not talking about family. I'm talking about maybe he said something. But then our brains are going to start to someone and, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, Fig. I have a call. Hey, caller, can you please turn off YouTube or whatever it is? Because we're getting an echo. Is this Stephanie?
Yes.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hold on. Just a minute. Hang on.
Sorry about that, Fig.
No problem. But yeah, it could be connected. So we'll be happy with the rest. Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you, Stephanie. What's going on?
Go ahead, Stephanie.
Well, I just wanted to get some things out there that have really been on my mind. You know, I had never been to Delphi, and my husband and I, 2 months ago, he planned to take the days off so we could go to the memorial and I could meet Marvin Frank and different people and honor the girls. And we went on Thursday, and we took the camper and we had just got done with breakfast, and this broke while we were there. And
wow.
The one thing I kind of wanted to point out to everyone is my husband and I, we did a little investigating. We did some driving around and we wanted to find the home. So we found the home. The road that you go down to get to Whiteman Drive, when we were going toward his house from town, his house, you turn right on Whiteman Drive, and his is the very first home. Across that road that you go to get to Whiteman Drive is a field. And the wood line, it's almost like it goes around, and then there's a big point that comes out at that field. And at that point, it points straight to his home. He could have walked that creek, cut across that field, and been in his home in no time, and no one would have been the wife.
Oh, shit. Stephanie, please call back. I'm so sorry. Stephanie, I apologize for clicking you off like that. Somebody else was calling and I hit the wrong button. I'm so sorry. Oh yeah, Vanessa was up there in Delphi. Did you meet her? Here she is.
Call from
Stephanie.
Stephanie, are you there?
Yes, I'm
Sorry
sorry.
about
I
that.
lost.
That was me. My bad.
Was it you?
Yeah, I
But
hung up on you.
anyway, yeah, we were absolutely shocked once we got there and seen how close he was to his own home and all the avenues. Even if he was on an ATV, he probably hiked those trails all the time. If someone
Mhm.
saw him there, they probably wouldn't have even thought about him walking across that field to go to the woods
How
to
do you
hike.
how do you
And
think about with now that you've been there? Let's say he parked at the CPS building and then escaped through there and then came back later and just picked up his vehicle. Do you think that he could have done something like that?
absolutely. Absolutely. But I'm still in my mind, after listening to the pressers and what they have said, I still believe in my mind and heart that there is someone else involved in this. One of the things that I did want to talk about that I have, I noticed, in the very beginning when they came out with the first sketch, the old guy sketch, and everybody was crazy over that, and they kept saying that he had been identified and that he had been spoken to and that he was, no longer considered blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
Well, and then they came out with the presser and they changed the pictures and, the statement, you didn't think we would change directions, but we did. So is he the person who led them in the wrong direction? That's what I feel. That he
That's a good
gave
thought.
a different description of someone, that, he led them in a different light, and it just took them a little bit to piece all that together. Another thing that was really odd to me, I know he lived close to Abby, which I don't know where that is. I didn't feel that we should look there because of everything that was going on out of
Mhm.
respect.
Yeah, it's very close
But
by though. Yes, you're correct.
yeah, he was probably watching kids get on and off the school bus. His house is like not even 2 minutes from the high school.
Oh, you're thinking he
Like,
was like
just-
in full pedo mode that day?
It's very possible, yes. And just to think that he could have been coveting these kids, especially Abby and all the kids he could have watched getting on and off the school bus, and the CVS is right there by the marathon station. And, the big thing about the, things about looking up the marathon and CVS, his house, the high school, and that point across that field from his house, it's like just a big circle. And I was just astonished to see that and to be there and to stand there that day in the presence of those girls on that bridge. I'd never been there. And the community, that's something else that I wanted to get out. The community was absolutely amazing. Everywhere we went, the town is clean. It's very nice.
It was good to see Becky and Cody out. They were out, showing strength. I found that inspirational.
I did get to meet Becky. I had never met Becky, so I did meet Becky and introduce myself, and I asked her if I could hug her. And I did give her a big hug and told her that I was very happy for them that day. And it was hard for her, but she did do the walk, and they said she had never been back there since the murders occurred. And that she did do the walk and she went back there. I didn't talk to her after that, but, Frank and Marvin were saying that her and Cody told stories about Libby, and they were smiling, and, it was just so surreal. And I told my husband on the way there, I said, wouldn't it be great if we got up there and something big happened while we were there. And when I got up Saturday morning, I was just bawling. The first thing I do is look at my phone, and I'm like, oh my God, Gary, well, we had a water leak in the camper,
And it
and he
delayed
had
you?
gone up to, pardon me?
And that delayed you?
No, it didn't delay us. He had gone up to the hardware store in town to get some parts to fix the water. And when he come back, I picked up my phone and was like, oh my God. And he says, oh, so that's why all those people are gathered at the courthouse. So I'm like, we got to go right now. And I've got several videos there was news on every corner, pointing, cameras. I did get a picture of the murder sheets being interviewed by the news, which I thought was pretty funny, just to have that. But the whole vibe in the town was like, I think a lot of people, I know they kept it under their vest, but I feel that a lot of people knew, and they had to keep it quiet, but they did a great job of keeping that under their vest. They really did. But I do believe a lot of people in the community knew, and it was just like relief. And then when Saturday night they had the trunk or treat at the courthouse, and there was cars all around the courthouse and kids, and it was just like everyone was at peace and happy. And I told my husband, can't you just imagine the relief with these parents this Halloween, to be able to go out knowing that with their kids, and letting their kids go out knowing that this monster is not out there. So
yeah, it's very poetic.
And also, I know that Randy has a picture, and I know they're probably going to talk about it, so I don't know if I should, but I'm going to, because even the hair is standing up on my arms now. While we were at the bridge, Randy was sitting down, and I was standing by Randy, and he said, look at those two hawks flying. And out of there just came these two hawks, and they were flying in unison around each other and flying back and forth like in a circle across the bridge. And my hair just stood up on my arms, and it is right now. And it was, to me, it was like a sign, like the girls were saying, thank you.
We
and
can
we're
go
okay
now.
now.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
strange that you brought that up, because you know how Libby had somebody had knocked her pumpkins over, and she had these really healthy pumpkins just sprout out in the front of the yard, right? Well,
yes, I did hear that.
And recently they had died.
Oh my goodness.
So it's like, I don't need to be here anymore. It's like, I can go now, kind of thing. It's really, and I know that's just kind of strange to talk like that, but I feel that, in this world, it is poetic. It can be poetic.
Well, I've just recently been getting into a lot of the, the empath side of this. And like, I had a reading, an eclipse reading by a tarot lady that said, if you're into true crime, you're about to have something big. A revolution is coming, and some different things. If you're into true crime, get ready. Well, just like a day or two after that, they found the identity of the little boy in the suitcase. And I said, no, that's not it. That's not it. Because this lady said, this is something that you eat, breathe, sleep, and think about every single day. And then we went to Delphi for the first time, and this happened.
That's awesome.
But when you go there, there is a presence there. It is so strong, but it's not a bad presence. It's a peaceful. It's just a peaceful feeling, and I could feel that presence there. And I didn't go to the crime scene with them because, to me, and to each their own. And a lot of people want to go there and pay respect, but I feel like it's a sacred place for them. So I didn't do that, but I did walk alone by myself and just, it was just, I felt honored to be there that day. I really did. I just felt honored to just stand there and say, this is the day, girls. This is your day. But anyway, That's what I wanted to say, and I do think he is the man that led them in the wrong direction.
That's a good theory. So I want to thank you for calling in, Stephanie. What I'm going to do now, if you want to kind of tune in, I'm going to see what Fig's got to say about all of that. You did have a lot in there. I did write down some of my responses regarding the prosecutor, but I want to thank you for calling in. Okay.
Hey, can I say one more thing before
Sure.
I get off?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, now I completely forgot what it was. Okay, well, anyway, but I'm just glad that it's just beginning. It's not over. It's just beginning. So.
All right. Thank you, Stephanie.
Okay. You're welcome.
All right. Happy Halloween.
You too.
Bye. All right. So Fig, did you have anything you wanted to add to what she was saying? The only thing I had here was in regards to possibly somebody else being involved. It seems like the prosecutor who was commenting, he kind of made it seem like it was there was a likelihood that there was other people that were involved, or that he thought there was a possibility, and he was kind of taking some actions that he wouldn't normally take, apparently, or that wasn't a normal course of action. Fig did send me some of these photos, so let's take a look. Apparently this is him while it looks like they might be serving a search warrant. Damn, how embarrassing. And I'm not sure, Fig, but you're still muted. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. CC says, it is my birthday today, and I am so happy that there is an arrest. That's awesome. Today's Kristen's birthday, too, from Beyond the Crime Door. So make sure you guys wish her a happy birthday. She might be around a little bit later, or I might go hang out over there. Don't know yet. All right, let's see what else he sent. Oh, man. Yeah, I wish he would just cooperate and tell him exactly what happened and then go face your punishment, take it like a man. But usually people that are going to do these types of things and they try to get away with it, they're pretty much cold-blooded. Right, Radar? That's so embarrassing. So it looks like he was a pharmacy technician. True Crime Housewife. Hello says, I know what it is now, Sleuth. When DC didn't want to dispel rumors in his interview with Kelsey, could one of those rumors be that the cameras at the home weren't working? because there are pics of him. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, what a strange feeling. Michael Donato says, must be weird to have seen this scumbag every day and worked with him. Oh, man. Imagine knowing that this guy has just been kind of living his life. Nothing's changed. Oh, but yeah, let's take another look at this photo here. So apparently this is actually inside the CVS where he works. This is so crazy to me. I don't know why. So you walk up to get your prescription. I mean, look how cocky this guy is. You walk up and you get your prescription filled by the guy that's photo where there's a sketch of the guy right there next to you. Man. Radar says one of Kay's cameras was working, is what I was told. Yeah, maybe they got a really good image. Guy on a bike, huh? Yeah, he could sneak in there on a bike easily. Yeah, that leaves you with a sick feeling. And think about all the conversation he has, and he's just like, every one of them, he gets a little bit of that duper's delight. It looks like we got a call. Hold on. Hello, callers.
Hello.
Yes, is this Cheryl?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Hi, Cheryl. What can
Glad
we do
to hear
for you?
your voice.
How are you?
Well, I'm not doing good. I have to collect my thoughts here. I've lost 3 children.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
One was murdered 20 years ago. They finally found the guy, and the prosecutor had told me it was a slam dunk that he would get, like, you know, I said, we didn't want any less than 30 or 40 years. And she said, yeah, you know, essentially it was a slam dunk. But when it came down to it, she told us that she would work out a plea deal with him, and it didn't matter what the family had to say. So she said that he was sick, and she didn't think he would live very long. So that was one of the reasons that she gave for doing the plea deal. The guy only served about 2 years in prison.
What?
And maybe 4 months, no, 2 years in jail, and maybe 4 months in prison. And he's out and walking around right now.
For murder?
Yes, for murder. They let him take a plea deal. He sodomized my son. He confined him to his own hotel room.
I'm so sorry.
And they had pictures of him coming out of they had even pictures of him coming out of my son's room. His blood is in DNA on the phone cord that he used to probably strangle my son.
Yeah, he's going to do it
And they let
again.
him take a plea deal.
He's going to
Beg
do it
your
again.
pardon?
He'll do it again.
Oh, he probably already had did it a lot of times. Well, he's back in jail again.
Oh, God.
He was only out like 2 days. He just got out. He was supposed to get out in March, but he got out in September. And I tried to find out why they let him out early. What was the reason? In the meantime, he got in trouble and was back in jail. So he comes out on the 31st. But what I wanted to say was, in Indianapolis, I live in Anderson, like 35 miles from there. There is a lot of murder cases that they're dismissing them. And I don't know what the reason is why they're getting rid of them so quick, but that system is just jacked up in Indiana. It's just a terrible system. They
That's
don't
scary.
do what they're supposed to do. Yeah, it's very scary. And, you know, we think about, we always thought the guy went up and down the highway all the time. we were probably passing him as he was going from here to there, and he had felonies and stuff, you know.
Jeez.
And so, but they were still letting him stay out. So I don't understand even how they even didn't get him. And it was a fluke when they did get him. And the guy took felony. He had a felony when he did, because he had been in trouble before. So they took his DNA, and that's how they found him. But it took 20 years to do it. So, you know. But today we're in the process of doing
like a civil
funeral arrangements, and so it'll be a few days before I can, you know, talk about it again and get that out of the way. But I just want to make sure that if you or anybody else can research about all the cases that they're dismissing, and these are people that have done murders and stuff. They're not regular crimes, just, you know, murders and stuff like that. And like I said, when I get on there, I'm going to sign up for your, you know, thing. And then, my name will be concerned, and then I'll have like six numbers after my name when I sign up.
Well, I can't wait to
and
have
I'll
you.
get back to you.
Because I have noticed that
Yes.
it seems like only in the last maybe few years that they've been doing that, just catch and release.
Yeah, it has been. You know, they were doing a little bit better about that. Now, if it's a policeman, they'll say that they're going to take, you know, $500,000 or $300,000 to spend to get that done. And another thing before I get off of here, we've had a lot of overdoses. And the police have not said anything. It's not been in the newspaper. They're not even trying to warn people. So again, I appreciate you letting me talk to you. I will get back to you, and like I said, I'll within, you know, maybe a week or so.
Thank you for sharing
very much.
thank you for sharing that story. And what I got from that is the moral is basically that it's not always a slam dunk, and you can't always just.
Lately it's not ever been a slam dunk. I mean, that's what they told me. But when it came down to it, they let him, and he didn't. It's a long story. I'll tell you when I have more time to tell you about it.
Thank you so much.
And you had the time. Thank you.
Happy Halloween. Bye. Wow, can you believe that? Prior felonies, murder charge. According to the caller, this guy was out in no time. Imagine somebody is charged with murdering one of your family members. In just a few years, they're walking around and you're running into them in a store. Imagine that. It's a nightmare. Yeah, Mary Flynn, that was a tragic story. Yeah, and the sad thing is, Miss Thang says the caller is right. Prosecution in Indianapolis is awful. I don't think it's just Indiana. Like, it's happening all over the country. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it's true, Mandy. Hey, Fig.
Hey. I probably got to get some work stuff done right now, but I'll be listening in as I'm working.
I may actually end this live stream right now, because the more I look online, I don't really see much going on. So, but we might reconfigure back here later on in the day. If you want to try to meet back up, I'll shoot you an email and see what you're up to and see what you found. If you want to maybe jump on a little bit later tonight.
Yeah, sounds good. Just keep me in the loop, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I really appreciate you participating and agreeing to be a guest and showing up. I know the chat really appreciates it, and all the subscribers, they love you, and we appreciate everything that you've been doing. So
awesome. Yeah. And thanks for everything you've been doing.
Thank
been
you.
Awesome. We'll talk soon, though.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
All right. So I want to give a shout out to CD, Analysis of a Crime with CD, has a YouTube channel. Go check that out. Fig, the captain. Sorry you had a little bit of mic issues. Everybody who tuned in, sorry we had some technical difficulties there at the beginning, but after that, everything was smooth sailing. So we're going to hang out probably another 10 minutes here in the chat. Okay, guys? And then we're going to reconvene. I really want to go check in with everybody. I want to talk with Frank. I want to go see what Adam, I think he was there in Delphi. So I'm really curious to see what's going on with everybody.